Well, hello, Gold Derby. I'm Daniel Montgomery here with Chris Beachum and Marcus Dixon, and we're here to announce the nominees for the 2016 Gold Derby TV Awards. This year, we reverted to our previous voting method of voting directly through private messages in our forums, because since we've relaunched the website, we don't have that automated yet. So hopefully in the coming months or year, we'll return to that form of voting. But in this case, I actually do like the results we came up with. So without further ado, we're going to start with Chris Beachum to announce the variety category.
And what number year is this for us on TV?
I've lost count. I think it's probably like 14. I think it's 14. I'll look that up.
Well, it'll be in your official announcement later. All right. Well, we'll start with the two variety categories. The one big thing we wish the Emmys would change is bring back the variety performer category. We don't like those people, mixing in with the comedy people. So we do have that as a separate category here, and we'll start with that one. Like Daniel says, you're going to love a lot of these results, I think, over the next half hour as we announce. I think having several hundred people voting as opposed to a couple of thousand, that's some of them last year, came in to vote maybe for one particular show or one particular category. We've got some really good results ahead for you. So for Best Variety Performer, let me get it back on my screen here. The 6 nominees are Samantha Bee from Full Frontal, James Corden from The Late Late Show, Larry David for Saturday Night Live, Kate McKinnon for Saturday Night Live, John Oliver for Last Week Tonight, and Amy Schumer for Inside Amy Schumer. You both like that
lineup? Well, yeah, Samantha Bee's in there.
Yes, of all things the Emmys got wrong, I can't believe that she didn't get nominated for Full Frontal. Even with Daily Show with Jon Stewart and Colbert Report out for the first time, the Emmys didn't, and we did. So that's really the most important thing to me.
Well, you'll like the next category then too. We do combine one Best Variety Series, not talk and sketch separate. So the 6 nominees there are Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Inside Amy Schumer, Key and Peele, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Late Late Show with James Corden, and Saturday Night Live. No Stephen Colbert in either category, just like at the Emmys.
Wow.
No Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Yes, and our users have loved Jimmy Fallon over the year. He won Variety Series last year, the last 2 years running. Let me see if he won Variety Performance. No, that's always gone to Women Variety Performance almost every year. But yeah, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon has won the last 2 years in a row, and this year it's not even nominated.
Wow.
I love how we have 3 sketch shows and 3 talk shows, if I'm doing the math right. So there's really an evenness that goes on there, which I like.
Well, and back to performer for a moment, it's 3 women and 3 men. I love the fact that we're honoring a lot of women in categories that are not gender specific.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting about Variety Performance. I don't know how it's shaken out this way or why, but Variety Performance has gone to a woman every year except for our very first awards. In 2004, it went to Dave Chappelle for Chappelle's Show. Every other year, it has been either a woman or women, like when Tina Fey and Amy Poehler won a couple times for hosting the Golden Globes.
Right. Well, Marcus is up next.
All right, yes, I have Best Reality Program and then Best Animated Series. So we'll start with Best Reality Program. The nominees are The Amazing Race, American Idol, RuPaul's Drag Race, Shark Tank, Survivor, and The Voice.
I'm 2 of your shows that you cover got in there.
Diehard Survivor fan. I'm so thankful everyone voted for that. And the final year of American Idol.
And we combine any reality program was eligible for that.
And then Best Animated Series. The nominees are Archer, Bob's Burgers, BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, The Simpsons, and South Park.
I don't care about that category. I used to watch a couple of those shows, but I just when shows hit like their 20th season, 21st season, I kind of lose interest.
I'm rooting for Bob's Burgers. It hasn't won before. The Simpsons has won it 3 times, including last year. Archer won it the 2 years before that. So I'm hoping for Bob's Burgers this year, personally speaking. Not that I'm trying to sway anyone's votes. Of course, I'm trying to sway everyone's votes. So please vote for Bob's Burgers.
And if you're watching this, which I guess anybody hearing me is watching this, go into our forums as soon as this announcement is over, and over the next few weeks you can vote. It's got the instructions in there and tells you exactly what to do to send in your ballots.
And by the way, Chris, you're not the only one that doesn't quite, I guess, care about animated series. I was very shocked how many people just didn't vote for this category when they were sending in their ballots.
Well, we did allow, we even did it in the automated system. You don't have to vote in every category. You can pick and choose. And there were certain ones I didn't know. I didn't, don't watch really any of these animated anymore, so I didn't vote in this category either.
Yeah, I think that's probably how it goes. With a lot of people probably watch 1 or 2 animated shows, but because we require people to vote for 3 nominees in any category that they choose to vote in. So if nobody regularly watches 3 animated shows, then chances are they're not going to care enough to vote in this category or pick a 3rd one that they haven't seen.
I love the fact, by the way, that we moved to this maybe 3 or 4 years ago out of the 14. Used to be you had to, if there were going to be 6 nominees, you voted for 6. And I knew from my own benefit, I could not think of 6 sometimes, even in a category like comedy series or, I think by moving to 3, it just truly inspires passion. You can come up with 3 that you love, and in a lot of cases there are more that you love, and you really got to then determine what am I going to knock out here? Do I be strategic? I know a certain person's going to make it in, so do I leave them off? It's fun to use the strategy of that as well.
Yeah, I could smell the strategy on a lot of the ballots I was getting, which is totally fine because I voted very strategically as well, considering some of the things I was pretty sure were going to get in. So sometimes it probably didn't work anyway. So, but moving on, we have moving on to long form categories now, and I will announce the nominees for movie miniseries supporting, starting with movie miniseries supporting actress. The nominees are, which I very much like, Olivia Colman, The Night Manager, Catherine Keener, Show Me a Hero, Regina King, American Crime, Kristen Milioti, Fargo, Sarah Paulson, American Horror Story Hotel, and Jean Smart, Fargo.
There were a couple there that people were so disappointed they didn't make it in at the Emmys. Kristen Milioti, I know, was one, and Catherine Keener, I don't know about her specifically, but there were a lot of people wishing Show Me a Hero got into some of the categories of the Emmys, and they were totally shocked.
Yeah, that was a weird snub, especially being on HBO. I thought it was a lock for a nomination at the Emmys.
Yeah, being on HBO, being David Simon, who the Emmys haven't always loved, but they've always loved him in the movie miniseries category. Even the last season of Treme, when it competed as a miniseries, it was nominated for Best Miniseries and Best Writing. So I was shocked that it got literally 0. But on to another category that I love possibly even more. The nominees for Best Movie Miniseries Supporting Actor are Sterling K. Brown, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, Connor Jessup, American Crime, Dennis O'Hare, American Horror Story Hotel, Jesse Plemons, Fargo, Joey Polari, American Crime, and Bakeem Woodbine for Fargo.
I'm so happy. This is so much better than what the Emmys did. I mean, Sterling K. Brown, Dennis O'Hare, the 2 American Crime guys, the 2 Fargo guys. Am I wrong? Is this better than the Emmys?
Oh, it's miles better than the Emmys.
I don't know if I would agree, since I like the OJ. I like that a lot of those guys got in at the Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was not surprised, given how much disappointment there was at Gold Derby, that Connor Jessup didn't get an Emmy nomination. I wasn't surprised that he got in here, but I was so happy that Joey Polari got in too. I did not expect them both to make it here, but thankfully our voters have good taste. This year.
Well, it was a great year for movies and limited series, especially limited series on TV. I love the last few years, really starting with Ryan Murphy. That these anthologies have come back from the early days of TV. That they really are a perfect form to me because you do want a beginning and a middle and an end. And sometimes a series you feel like they're just dragging their feet over the course of 5 or 6 years, or more. I'll finish out these movie mini categories with lead actress, and that's Kirsten Dunst in Fargo, Felicity Huffman in American Crime, Audra McDonald in Lady Day, Sarah Paulson, People vs. O.J. Simpson, Lily Taylor in American Crime, and Kerry Washington in Confirmation. If you're saying to yourself, that list sounds familiar, that's the exact same Emmy lineup. And it was the six, really from the time we opened the Emmy Prediction Center, it felt like those six, and then all through the voting for this, as I was adding up numbers from you and the ones that were coming to me, it was the same six. There's a huge drop-off to get to number 7. So it's like these were the only 6 that people were passionate about at the Emmys and with us.
I think they're the only 6 that everyone watched. And when I was going over my own personal list of favorites for movies and miniseries and all that sort of thing, I realized that the only 6 lead actress performances because I'd seen about a dozen or so limited series, but only 6 of them, or there were only 6 lead actresses in them, and it was this 6, and they were all fantastic. So I'm happy they all got in, but there was literally no one else I had seen, so I'm not surprised. I think
that was the case for a lot of people. And what's so strange, especially at the Emmys, is any one of these 6 in a lighter year probably could have won pretty easily. 5 of these ladies are going to be really, really disappointed. Well, moving on to lead actor, we have Bryan Cranston all the way, Idris Elba from Luther, Tom Hiddleston, The Night Manager, Oscar Isaac, Show Me a Hero, Courtney B. Vance, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, and Patrick Wilson from Fargo. And it just felt like we righted a couple of wrongs with Oscar Isaac and Patrick Wilson getting in because, again, in another Emmy year, those would have been easy locks to get in at the Emmys. But it was just a tough, tough year.
Right, and Benedict Cumberbatch, nominated at the Emmys, was not nominated with us.
Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, that's right.
And by the way, speaking of Night Manager there, very surprising in a way, Hugh Laurie didn't make it in with us with Olivia and Tom getting in because he's been a favorite at the Gold Derby Awards over the years.
Right.
And I'll finish up with we combine movie and miniseries here because there's often quite many years there's not enough movies to go around. All the Way, American Crime, Fargo, People vs. O.J. Simpson, Roots, and Daniel will love Show Me a Hero, making that lineup. And no Night Manager.
That's a surprise.
Wow, that is a surprise. Yeah.
And it really seemed to me, looking through not just the main categories at the Emmys, but looking all the way down the ballot, it seemed like we were talking about Best Actress, there are certain movies or miniseries that it just seemed like everyone had watched. And this year at the Emmys, the TV Academy saw People vs. O.J. Simpson, Fargo, and The Night Manager. And it seemed that hardly anyone else had seen anything else because they got just little smatterings here and there or nothing at all. So here it's surprising because we got in Show Me a Hero over Night Manager. Roots got in, even though none of the actors got in. American Crime got in. Of course, it has a lot of actors in. So I'm very, very happy with this list.
Well, and as we move into the drama and comedy categories, I've got to say, as we all announce them, I know there'll be people that you wish were in there, but listen, I read the forums all the time, all year round. There are some people coming up on these nominee lists that you, as a group and individually, just seem to love to death. So you're about to hear some names in drama and comedy that you're going to wish had been Emmy nominees that are Gold Derby nominees. So be prepared going forward.
Yeah, I'm excited to do the drama guest ones first. I'm going to start with drama guest actress. And if a certain Emmy winner from last year who likes coffee and diners gets nominated, I'm not going to be happy. So let's just say that. Okay, the nominees are Ellen Burstyn, House of Cards. Famke Janssen, how do I pronounce that, Daniel?
Famke?
Famke
I think it's
Janssen,
Famke, yeah.
How to Get Away with Murder. Patti LuPone, Penny Dreadful. Natasha Lyonne for Orange is the New Black. Annette Mahandro for The Americans. And Laurie Metcalf, Horace and Pete. Good luck.
Almost an entirely different lineup than the Emmys.
I like it.
People, our users. There's a lot of fan favorites in that group.
And it's so good to see Annette Mahendru get into this category. It's like our Gold Derby voters actually looked into the ballots to the MA in the alphabet. I won.
Well, and not just for that. We had quite a few votes for her in the X-Files.
Yeah, she was great on the X-Files. She had a good year. So I'll go over to drama guest actor now, and the nominees are Richard Armitage for Hannibal, Reg E. Cathy for House of Cards, John Carroll Lynch for The Walking Dead. Come on. Ian McShane, Game of Thrones, Max von Sydow, Game of Thrones, B.D. Wong for Mr. Robot. How do you pick a winner from this group? I can't do it.
When I saw that group, I knew it had to be Marcus's favorite category.
Yeah, Ian McShane is just my favorite actor of all time, TV or movies, my all-time favorite actor. And he was not on the Emmy ballot for some reason. We need to get to the bottom of why. But luckily, our voters thought he was worthy.
Richard Armitage made me so happy, and because the way we did this, we each of us got a third of the votes, and as the votes were coming into me, I was like, I'm feeling good about this, and so I was very, very, very happy to see that actually turn out. So everyone vote for Richard Armitage for the winner.
Oh no lobbying here.
Hashtag objectivity.
I did find it interesting. And we're not revealing vote totals or anything, but Reggie E. Cathy, as many people has complained about him with his screen time, not because of his performance, just he's not in House of Cards very much. I would hear people all the time in the forums with his win last year as well as this, go, why is he? And then he was just constantly getting votes, enough to make the top 6 here. So don't complain. You voted for him.
I just love John Carroll Lynch getting in for Walking Dead. That's so great.
I can't wait till you send me your ballot. I want to see who you vote for in this category.
Ian McShane.
Okay, so next up is drama supporting, which I will be covering. I'm going to announce now drama supporting actress. The nominees are Christine Baranski for The Good Wife, Lena Headey for Game of Thrones, Regina King for The Leftovers, Maura Tierney for The Affair, Allison Wright in The Americans, Unreal.
As much as our people love Game of Thrones, no Emilia Clarke, no Maisie Williams, no Sophie Turner.
I got barely any votes. It wasn't even close for Maisie and Sophie. Maybe 1 vote, maybe 2 votes. I couldn't believe it. No one voted.
And that's what's so surprising to me, because when I tabulated my section of the votes, Emilia Clarke and Sophie Turner were in my top 3. So I thought they were surely going to get in. I did not expect them to have virtually nothing on anyone else's ballots.
I don't think many. It must have been Marcus's and mine, because I don't recall either one of them. In fact, I've got the we're not going to give vote totals on people that actually made it, but I'll be glad to tell you if they were close here, since they're not. I don't want to influence the votes on these 6, but these 2 aren't in the 6. I'll just tell you people that got a lot that didn't make it. Ann Dowd, Sophie Turner, Emilia Clarke, Rhea Seehorn just barely missed out. Edie Falco, Melissa McBride, all of those got substantial votes. Backing up, since we didn't really want to do this for all the other categories, but drama and comedy, I'll just backing up to the guest stars, a couple of others that got substantial. Well, a couple, Jeffrey Dean Morgan for Walking Dead and Pablo Schreiber did pretty well. And Josh Charles. Josh Charles did pretty well.
That killed me.
And guest actress, really not seeing a ton of support. Tova Feldsha. Cicely Tyson for How to Get Away. Those were the only other two that got a decent amount. Oh, it's Cicely Tyson for House of Cards as well. And Allison Janney. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, so the nominees for Best Drama Supporting Actor are Alan Alda, Horace and Pete, Alan Cumming, The Good Wife, Christopher Eccleston, The Leftovers, Kit Harington, Game of Thrones, Michael McKean, Better Call Saul, and Christian Slater, Mr. Robot.
No,
only one of those is an Emmy nomination. Yeah, no Peter Dinklage. Wow, he won last year. No, he had a lot of votes. Jonathan Banks, Michael Kelly, Joshua Jackson. Those were the ones that came the closest. But Peter Dinklage actually trailed Jonathan Banks, so he was not even in 7th place.
Wow. You know, we always blame the Emmys when they give someone the win, and then the next year they snub them. We just did the same.
We just did the same thing. Well, people probably were thinking he's going to get it anyway. I've only got 3 slots.
Well, I think it's Kit Harington's season. He just exploded in social media with buzz and with his acting performance. He clearly outshone Peter Dinklage, and I think our voters did the right thing.
And to say nothing of Peter Dinklage's performance, he's still one of my favorite actors on that show, but it really wasn't a Tyrion season. It's been sort of like an in-between kind of season for him. It was just sort of cleaning up other people's plot threads and picking up other stuff. It wasn't really personal for him the way it's been in years prior, like when he was on trial and he killed his father and all that sort of stuff. It's really just been about him politicking and drinking.
And telling jokes.
Well, moving on to the lead drama actor and actress, some fan favorites on the way again here. Drama actress, we've got Carrie Coon, The Leftovers, Viola Davis, How to Get Away with Murder, Vera Farmiga, Bates Motel, Eva Green, Penny Dreadful, Kerry Russell, The Americans, and Robin Wright, House of Cards.
It kind of feels like the Critics' Choice Award nominations.
And no Juliana Margulies, even though her supporting people got in.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I'll see who. I think she fell. She had a lot of support. Claire Danes had a lot of support. Tatiana just fell short. That was one when I was seeing the votes coming in, and when the Emmy nominations were announced, it was only like 2 more days of our voting. I told Marcus, I said, I don't know if she's going to get an Emmy nomination if she's not doing well at the Gold Derby Awards.
Speaking of winners getting snubbed, she won the last 2 in a row, Tatiana Maslany, at the Gold Derby.
Wow.
She was in 7th place ahead of Juliana, so she just barely missed. For drama actor, we've got Freddie Highmore, Bates Motel, Rami Malek, Mr. Robot, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, Matthew Rhys, The Americans, Kevin Spacey, House of Cards, and Justin Theroux, The Leftovers.
So that's a Leftovers person in actor, actress, supporting actor, and supporting actress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if it didn't make drama series now?
I guess we'll see.
We'll see in a moment. Those 6 guys, just like movie actress, it was those 6 the whole way. Every time I would add the ballots up, which was constantly every 2-3 days, it would always be those 6, and it was like nobody else was getting any support. I mean, the next Sam from Outlander is not in there. Katrina Balfe is not in there. Sam won last year. So
that's 3 regular returning champions in the drama lead and supporting categories who are just gone.
Yeah.
Wow. How great that Freddie and Vera made it for Bates Motel. Yes, I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna do best drama episode, and then best drama series. So from the Americans, the episode "The Magic of David Copperfield 5." Better Call Saul, the episode Nailed. Game of Thrones, the episode Battle of the Bastards. Game of Thrones, the episode The Winds of Winter. The Leftovers, the episode International Assassin. And Mr. Robot, the Pilot, which is a funny title.
Yeah, Hello Friend, I always call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great group. I mean, I know what I would pick, but I don't know what our users are going to pick because those 6 had a lot of support across the board. So I don't. Well, maybe there's one in there that maybe I would say was hanging on, but the other 5 just had tons of support. So I don't know. Sometimes I get a feel off the nomination rounds what might win later on, but I don't know here. I mean, you can make a case for 5 of them at least.
I wonder if the Game of Thrones episodes will kind of cancel each other out because as a voter, you're only going to pick one in each of these categories.
You do not rank. You send in one choice for each category. So
I know what I'm voting for, but I have a feeling the one I'm voting for is not going to win.
I feel the same way, Matt. I know what I'm pretty sure. I think I'm between like 2 episodes here, and I don't think. Well, one of them has a shot. The other one probably not. It would be my guess.
And then best drama series, we have 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 nominees here.
We follow the Emmy rules on these numbers.
Okay, so best drama series nominations are The Americans, Bates Motel, Better Call Saul, Game of Thrones, House of Cards, The Leftovers, and Mr. Robot. It's a good list, you guys.
It really is. Let me see if there was anything close. Orange is the New Black came in close. Horace and Pete. I didn't even know people really had bought the episodes and watched, but it had a lot of support. Unreal had a lot of support, one of Marcus's favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Downton Abbey had a lot of support. So those were in the next group.
Who did we snub that the Emmys rewarded? Homeland is not here.
And Homeland.
Okay.
I think that's the only 2. Downton, the last year, I believe, or 2 with us has just not done very well.
Well, when shows get older, unless they still have the pop culture relevance they always did, like a Game of Thrones, then it kind of makes sense that stuff would drop off.
Right. Again, a lot of fan favorites on your way next with Daniel's announcements.
Oh yes, we're moving into the comedy categories now, starting with the guest acting categories, and this, for starters, is one of my favorite categories. Talk about righting Emmy wrongs. It's all over the place in this category. The nominees for Best Comedy Guest Actress are Anna Camp, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Claire Danes, Master of None, Tina Fey, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Angelica Houston, Transparent, Lisa Kudrow, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Amy Sedaris, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah, you heard right. There's 4 of them. None of those 6 got Emmy nominations for
That's crazy.
For those roles at least.
Right.
And
that might be a first with us. 6 complete wash.
And it's the perfect 4 from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I'm so happy for it's so discerning, every single one of these nominees in this category. Just, I loved Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt this season, and I thought these nailed it.
Yeah. Tina Fey's snub at the Emmys is very, very strange. I can't explain that at all because she essentially played 2 characters, the drunk version of the therapist and then the normal version of the therapist, and I thought she was going to win the Emmy, and she didn't even get nominated.
Yeah, and what's ironic is that she was nominated last year for what was basically kind of a one-joke Marsha Clark joke.
Not funny at all.
It was really just kind of a little cameo, and she was nominated for that. This time she had a substantial role, a multi-episode arc. She was fantastic in it. It's one of the best non-30 Rock performances I've seen her give, and this year they didn't go for it. I'm very surprised by that at the Emmys.
some of the ones that were close, Christine Baranski, Becky Ann Baker from Girls, Estelle Parsons, and Ellen Burstyn. None of those, right? None of those were nominated. Oh, Christine Baranski. Well, we take all of the variety people and move them over to variety performer. So that knocked out 3 of the SNL people right away. So.
Okay, so the nominees for Best Comedy Guest Actor, and first up I want to mention, since the whole Peter McNichol controversy at the Emmys happened, since we go by Emmy eligibility guidelines when we do our own awards, Peter McNichol is not in this category either. But the 6 who did get in are Christopher Abbott, Girls. I'm going to mangle this name. Shutkath Ansari, Master of None.
That cost some cheers right there.
Mm-hmm.
Judd Hirsch, The Big Bang Theory. Martin Mull, Veep. Bob Newhart, The Big Bang Theory. And Corey Stoll, Girls.
2 girls, guys, and none of them are Peter Scolari that the Emmys nominated.
Well, some of the ones that were close, Jeff Goldblum, I dropped so much. Mike Carlson, both of them from Kimmy Schmidt. Sam Elliott from Grace and Frankie. Timothy Oliphant. That's about the only ones that got a lot of support. Peter Scolari barely got any support. Well, I think I'm next. Comedy supporting categories. We've got, for supporting actress, Mayim Bialik, Big Bang Theory, Anna Klumsky, Veep, Allison Janney from Mom, Jane Krakowski, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Amy Landecker, Transparent, and Judith Light, Transparent.
Wow.
So 3 from the Emmys and 3 not from the Emmys. Close but no nomination, Jennifer Lewis from Blackish. Is it Kether Donahue? And Eden Sher. I would say were the 3 that were the closest. Oh, and Gabby Hoffman.
I'm happy to hear that Kether did pretty well. She's a fan of Gold Derby. She came to our Emmy party, and we saw her at the Grease party. I think she does a great job on that show. I'm glad she was close.
Yeah, she was very, very nice. Supporting actor, Louis Anderson, Baskets, Titus Burgess, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Ty Burrell, Modern Family, Jay Duplass, Transparent, Tony Hale from Veep, and Timothy Simons from Veep. He had a lot of support. Consistent support. Every time I would get more ballots in, he would always be listed. So he's definitely was a fan favorite from this year. Close in that category. Oh, your friend Daniel Jamie Camille, is that how you say his name?
Oh, he was close. I'm happy to hear that he was close.
Really close. Zach Woods was really close. Kevin Dunn from Veep. That's probably the 3 that were the closest.
Interesting how we only have 1 Modern Family performer nominated, and that's Ty Burrell, just like the Emmys do.
Mm-hmm. It's slowly been losing support all these years.
Mm-hmm. Louis Anderson, though, he for me, he gave the comedic performance of the year. If you haven't watched Baskets, go watch it.
I know Matt Walsh is a little surprising just because he got in at the Emmys. Although when his name came up at the Emmys, I almost thought if Veep was going to get another guy in, given everything I'd heard about this past season of Veep, I would have thought it would have been Timothy Simons at the Emmys. So I'm kind of surprised that Walsh got in there and Simons got in here.
So moving on to Best Comedy Actress, it looks like we have 3 that are Emmy nominated and 3 that are brand new. So here we go. The Emmy nominees that we've also nominated are Ellie Kemper, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep, and Laurie Metcalf for Getting On. And then the other three nominees are Rachel Bloom, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Aya Cash for You're the Worst, Constance Wu, Fresh Off the Boat. I like that, the balance of the new blood and the old blood.
Mm-hmm. Close, Lena Dunham. I'm looking at numbers here. I'm trying to. Maria Bamford, Gina Rodriguez, Tracy Ellis Ross, Sharon Horgan. Those were the ones that were kind of just on the outside. So, and I'm saying all this also, I think it's fun for people to know, but also, I mean, your votes do matter. I mean, you switch a name here, from 1 to 3, or you leave a person off, you put one of those in, there's suddenly a nomination. So it can be that close sometimes.
And then going on to Best Comedy Actor, Anthony Anderson for Blackish, Aziz Ansari, Master of None, Will Forte, The Last Man on Earth, Thomas Middleditch, Silicon Valley, Jim Parsons, The Big Bang Theory, and Jeffrey Tambor, Transparent.
So that's 5 out of the 6 at the Emmys, right? Who's missing? Oh, William H. Macy.
Right, and we still have Jim Parsons, even though the Emmys have snubbed him twice in a row after winning 4 times.
Macy was close here. Chris Gere was very close. Rob Delaney. And it's going to break your heart, Daniel, but Indy Daly.
Yeah, I think
was
to me that he was on the cusp.
He was in 7th place. He was, I won't say behind who, but he was 4 points behind the person that's in 6th place. 4 points. If somebody marks him down for 1st place and another person marked him down for 3rd, we would have had a tie and had 7 nominees.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know it was that close. He was number 1 on my ballot, and personally, like I think there's just not enough people who have seen Review. I think if it's one of those things where maybe you could tell me if because I figure if you've seen the show, he got a lot of 10s, he got a lot of 1st places, but not enough to get into things that a lot of people have seen would be my guess.
I don't have the breakdown that way, but he was 4 points behind.
So close. Throw out all these other awards. It's just not worth it anymore. The best comedy actor category, I give it 3.5 stars. 3 stars. He's really worth two extra stars. Okay. Well, moving on to best comedy episode. The 6 episodes nominated are from The Big Bang Theory, The Opening Night Excitation, from Blackish, Hope, from Girls, Panic in Central Park, from Transparent, Man on the Land, and 2 episodes of Veep got in. The first was Kissing Your Sister and Mother.
That's a good group.
Interesting category.
Yeah, Girls had support here and there, but everybody. That must have been an incredible episode because everybody was piling on for their votes.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was the one that focused entirely on Allison Williams' character.
Oh.
Was there anything that was close in that one that's interesting, or was there a pretty steep drop off?
Let me back up to that page. Let's see.
I love the Mother episode of Veep. That was just so funny.
The Parents episode of Master of None. I don't have the full title here, but the You're the Worst episode, There's not
currently a problem.
Right. That one got some real support. The Party episode of Modern Family got a lot of support. Oh, the Drunk Lady episode from Unbreakable got a good bit of support. Those were the main ones.
Yeah, for some of those other shows like Master of None and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, I have a feeling because there are, for some of these shows, there are a lot of shows that have like just a clear standout episode during their year. there are other shows that, like, obviously Gold Derby voters loved Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, but I can't imagine anyone, a lot of support would have materialized for one specific episode or another. Same thing with Master of None. Master of None could have gone 4 or 5 different ways for standout episodes. So it really feels like, these went to shows with those clear standout half hours that really people latched onto.
And we do honor on our nominations and the wins for the episode categories. We don't do directing and writing separately, but we mention the directors and writers as part of their nominations. So that's how we do that.
Now the nominees for Best Comedy Series, and this is another really, really exciting, interesting category. Our 7 nominees are Blackish, Broad City, Master of None, Transparent, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Veep, and You're the Worst.
I knew you would love that one.
No Modern Family.
No Silicon Valley.
Wow.
And what's amazing...
Both of those had good support.
But what's amazing here is that Broad City got a Best Comedy Series nomination without any other nominations for acting or for Best Episode. It's just Best Comedy Series.
That happened at the Emmys with Big Love, right? It got a drama nomination, but nothing else, about 10 years ago.
The others that were close, Modern Family, Girls, Silicon Valley, Catastrophe. Those had the most support.
What about my favorite show, Last Man on Earth?
Don't even know.
Oh, come on, Gold Derby. Come on, guys.
You don't even want to see the numbers on that one.
I was the only one that voted for it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't go that far, but... And we finish up with 3 categories that we do that the Emmys don't do, but we really like these. And I've got to say, every year you don't disappoint when you nominate on Breakthrough Performer of the Year. Somebody was asking me the other day, I wasn't giving specifics, but they just we were in a car ride together, and they just said, what's something interesting on the Gold? I said, this Breakthrough Performer category, I don't know how people are going to be able to decide because the 6 are unbelievable. Here they are. And by the way, it's people that have had a huge leap in their TV careers. So Rachel Bloom, Sterling K. Brown, Connor Jessup, Rami Malek, Joey Polari, and Bokeem Woodbine.
If I'm looking, is that 4 of the nominees for supporting actor in a movie mini?
It is.
Sterling K. Brown, Connor Jessup, Joey Polari. Wow, Bokeem Woodbine.
Just one lady there this year.
Yeah, which is surprising. Although there's not a lot of gender parity, but it is a diverse group. I mean, you have Rami Malek, who is Egyptian, and Sterling K. Brown and Bokeem Woodbine are black actors, and so it's really nice to see a really only 2 white men, and they're both from American Crime.
Others that had a lot of support: Noah Galvin, Samantha Bee. Maria Bamford, Rhea Seahorn. This was a category we had far more entries because people were listing lots of different choices. So Malachi Kirby. Just trying to look at numbers here. Jared Carmichael. Just a nice wide range of people.
All right, so moving on to Performer of the Year. And so, Chris, this is not specifically for someone that's had multiple projects, but just someone who gave maybe the best performance in a single project or multiple. It doesn't really...
Well, the way I always tell people, and everybody has their own... for me, when I'm voting, it's quantity and quality. I'm looking for somebody who had... an impact on the year, but also, I mean, I like it when they have a couple of different things going on. That to me makes me vote for them for Performer of the Year. And some of the people you're about to hear, that was the case for them, and some just blew people away. So with maybe like one big project. So take it away.
Yeah, it's a mix here. Okay, Performer of the Year: Kirsten Dunst, Regina King, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Rami Malek, John Oliver, Sarah Paulson.
You couldn't look for a more diverse group than that. 4 women. Like Regina King had 2 big projects. Sarah Paulson had 2 big projects. John Oliver was everywhere in a political year. Julia, I think you could add in, hosting SNL along with Veep. I mean, just a nice wide range.
And it's interesting, I don't know if we have stats on it, but Rami Malek, to get into both Performer of the Year and Breakthrough Performer, I don't think that happens that often.
Right.
I want to say a year or 2 ago somebody did that, but I don't remember who it was. Somebody will know that right off the top of their head because they keep up with this far more than I do from a long term. But by the way, there is a thread with all of the past nominees and winners. So if you ever want to see that, it's in the people that had some other people that did okay. Kate McKinnon, James Corden, Viola Davis, Amy Schumer. I think Amy Schumer might have even won last year.
I believe she did.
Kerry Washington. That's some of the ones that had some good support. And Kerry had 2 projects. That's, to me, when I vote, I'm thinking along those lines. Even if it wasn't 2 like acting projects, if they were like all over TV, like talk shows, and maybe they hosted SNL, and I think about all those things when I'm voting for Performer of the Year. But one person out of those 6, I will say, without saying who, if you added up the other 5, they might have more points than the other 5 combined. So that's a little mystery for you.
I'm pretty sure I could.
I think the 2 of you know because you turned in your tallies to me, but everybody else can guess.
I know who I want it to be.
One last category.
Yep, we have got the category for Ensemble of the Year.
Which can be anything.
Yeah, this category combines all ensembles from dramas, comedies, movies and miniseries. Variety is also eligible, and this year has a good mix. There's comedy, drama, and movie mini represented in this year's category. Our 6 nominees are Fargo, Game of Thrones, The Leftovers, Orange is the New Black, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, and Veep.
Again, I don't know how people are going to choose because that's a lot of fan favorites right there. What won this category last year, do you recall?
That was Game of Thrones, if I'm not mistaken. I have my list up.
It swept almost everything last year, right?
Yeah, it won every category it was nominated for. It had 7 nominations, I think, and it only lost to itself. I think it was Lena Headey beat Emilia Clarke, or maybe 2 episodes were up, but it beat itself somewhere, but it didn't lose. Yeah, Game of Thrones won this last year, and actually, Game of Thrones won it in 2015 and 2013, and in between, Orange is the New Black won it in 2014, so both of those shows are back this
year. American Crime barely missed. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt did okay. Big Bang Theory did okay.
It's interesting Orange got into ensemble, but only one person, Natasha Lyonne, was individually recognized.
Not just like the Emmys, not nominated here. Those were the ones that did. Transparent did okay. Blackish did okay. Yeah, that's another stellar group. Well, here's what people need to do in our forums by the time you see this. The list will be there. Instructions for voting will be there. You've got an entire month to vote. We won't announce winners until early to mid-September. And it's, as you can tell on several of these, I mean, your one vote in a given category can determine whether that person wins or not. So, make sure you vote.
Just want to go over some totals. We have the top nominee in any field is Veep. It has 9 nominations overall, not counting the Performer of the Year because Julie Louis-Dreyfus. It's for her year, not for one specific program. So it's 9 nominations plus Julia has that extra one. Then with 8 nominations, you've got Fargo, which is the top movie or miniseries, Game of Thrones, which is the top drama series, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And then with 7 nominations, you've got The Leftovers, which did incredibly well. That's, let me count it, 7 more than it got at the Emmys. And Transparent also got 7. American Crime and The Americans got 6. And then with 5 nominations, Big Bang Theory, House of Cards, Mr. Robot, and The People vs. O.J. Simpson. So I'll have that complete list along with my report of these nominations. That will be published soon as well. Along with every show that got 3, 2, 1 nominations, everything will be in that list, and then you can commence voting. So
well, thanks everybody. This was a lot of fun. We didn't know how many would vote once we moved over to our older system, but it turned out to be way more than we were hoping for. So that's wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and get to voting. So we will see you later.